You ever write your answer to the question words? We always put these question words. We always ask stupid stuff after the question words. Just ask the question word and see what your answer is. That'll take you some serious distance. You know, who? Like, who are you? Who do you want to be? Who am I to you? Those aren't stupid stuff after it, but who? You know, to some degree, you are the answer to that question. If you haven't answered that question, maybe nobody. What? You really answer the question, who, from a place of seated in your subconscious mind. And see myself, or start talking to yourself and create this objectivity, this split thing that happens. And myself, and then you realize it's myself, then it's like, what is myself? What is a self? What the fuck is a self if I'm not it? And it's mine, who then my? That's what I just thought I was. So who now, after I realize what that is, am I realizing I just saw that from the seat of? Then you got to go back to yourself just to see what you were just looking at it from. But now when you get back to the self, you carry with you the very thing that you were just looking at it from. And then you kind of got to work them back together. And that's really going from the seat of your subjective subconscious mind into and seeing through the lens of your conscious mind. And this consciousness, self-awareness. It's like a pop. And there's just no going back. And it's like a pop into war or hell or depression, really, that a problem that the answer is where the answer is what you become in overcoming it. You know, you don't, like, you have to become the answer to the problem you have. And it's your higher self, your it's awesome, dude. It really is awesome how it goes, how you become conscious and are forced to reconcile with yourself. And it's, for everyone else, it's such a cool thing because you have to deal with yourself before you're ever going to be able to go back to existing with it in a way that it's not facing you and not everybody else. And that's often when it happens, is when you're just causing so much shit for everybody else and kind of freely getting away with it. As a way of running from yourself, you become the very monster and demons you have that you can't face, and to get away from them, you become them. And you start giving it to everybody else to deal with instead of yourself. And not for very long, dude. It won't let you do that very long. There's already enough people doing it or something. There's no more room for that bullshit. And you know, it's time to understand. You got to make an understanding on the backside of realizing the one you just thought you had as a misunderstanding. As realizing everything you thought you knew, you knew, and you realized what you knew was nothing. It's all what you thought you knew. And that's all you'll know. And you don't want to go back to thinking you know, man. Thinking you know is closing your mind. Closed-minded people think they know. And you go back to thinking you know if you want to be able to not get eaten alive in this place, or even talk or offer any, your own understanding. But what more can you know than your own understanding? That's with an understanding, that's what you're doing. When you think you know with an understanding, that's what you're doing. That's like believing. But when you think you know as not realizing that you just think you know, that's called dumb or closed-minded. And it's a misunderstanding. It's not knowing. It's thinking. And you have to be dumb enough, because you know that. You have to be dumb enough to be able to act like you don't know that. And you do everything to convince yourself that it's the way. That it's the truth. That other people that don't abide by it are wrong. You have to call them in order to believe it. You have to say what everybody else believes, if it ain't this, is wrong. And I'm just all right. And it is all right. But so are they all right. Everything's all right. That's why it's called all right. Misunderstandings are all right. Look, that's the point of the word misunderstanding. But you're close as hell to wrong if it is. When you call that an understanding, and all you gotta do is realize it as a misunderstanding. And you will. Only when you're forced to. You know, it's hard to open your mind unless you're forced to open your mind. Something opens your mind, it's like. I'm sure a nuke would probably do it. And that's what it's like. Kind of, your mind gets nuked. I mean, if your head got nuked, your mind would surely open. No, that's the mind for you right there. You know, you see I got paint on my shirt. You can get paint all over your body. You can get paint on your head. If I cut it over, so I get paint on my brain. You can't get paint on your mind, dude. I realized that the other day. To be the mind. It's this thing I can't touch.